It's the last Monday of the month of October in the year 2025. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning News. This, of course, is the first bulletin of the day right here on TV3. And this bulletin is coming to you live from the news hub here at Adisawe Kanda. We're live on Facebook. It's TV3 Ghana. On DSTV, it's channel 279. My name is Josh Queening. Top of the stories is out. Minister for Education Haruna Idrisu issues stern warning against inappropriate hairstyles and dressing among students in the various second cycle institutions in the country. Wildlife Division of the Forestry Commission raises concerns over surge in illegal hunting during the official close season. Also coming up this morning, residents and motorists appeal for speedy construction of their Flower Tema motorway. We have details of these stories and many more coming up in the next 20 minutes if you spend your time with me. On to our very first story. The Minister for Education, Haruna Idrisu, has issued a stern warning against inappropriate hairstyles and dressing among students in the various second cycle institutions in the country. At the 75th anniversary celebration of Mauli Senior High School in Ho on Saturday, the minister urged the Ghana Education Service and school heads to take full control of how students behave on campus. Take a listen.
There is an ongoing debate in social media about haircuts and size and length of hair in secondary schools. We will not tolerate it today, we will not tolerate it tomorrow, and so long as we are molding character, if we give it to head today, tomorrow it will be shoes, and the next day it will be the way they dress. Therefore, as part of our disciplinary measures, headmasters and GS, you are accordingly empowered to take full control of how students behave on your campuses. So anybody who thinks that your child will walk into any institution of learning as if that child, forgive my words, was to attend a beauty contest, the school environment is not for that purpose and not that for that purpose, and we will not tolerate that as an institution. There is a lot of growing indiscipline in our schools, some even with teachers abusing learners. We will not accept that. We will apply heavy sanctions to any teacher who wants to take advantage of a learner. And to the students, you only can walk away from Mauli School with two values: discipline and integrity, and the future is yours. So Mauli School, you have every reason today at 75 to celebrate.
And now away from education, the Flower Tema motorway, once hailed as a major link to boost trade and ease travel along Ghana's eastern corridor, has now become a daily struggle for commuters. As detours worsen on the motorway and construction stalls on the Flower Road, frustration is growing among drivers and residents who navigate the dusty and uneven roads in hope of a smoother journey ahead. LC Adu has more in the following report.
The Tema Aflau project was among several road projects suspended in December 2022 due to the debt restructuring program introduced by the then Akufo-Addo administration. The debt restructuring triggered a funding freeze on several key infrastructure projects across the country. In April this year, work officially resumed on the Tema Aflau Road project following appeals and financial reassurances from the government. The project is expected to ease trade and travel. The project is expected to ease trade and travel between Ghana's eastern corridor and the Tema port. But for those who live along the and use the route, progress has come at a cost. The road construction, meant to improve travel, has instead become a daily nightmare, especially along the Aflau-Dowinya stretch. Each day, drivers have to navigate through rough detours carved out as temporary escape routes. Contractors say they are aware of the challenges and have put in place measures to mitigate them. These include regular watering to reduce dust, safety signage, and temporary access route to ease the burden on communities while work continues. But sometimes drivers and commuters do not take heed.
There are some people that they flint driving through the fence without going to the school or something. So some of them, they do abide by it, but majority, they don't. They don't even know whether there is a sign here or there is no sign here. And some of them, they don't even know if there is supposed to be a sign placed somewhere or not. But they, yes, is to just drive, the road is there, then they go.
At the start of the year, the Minister for Roads and Highways, Kwame Gavins Agboja, spoke about the project.
A place like this, which is the TT Junction, it beats my mind whether BHM is incapable of basically fixing this as a temporary measure. What kind of procurement process do you need to just get an asphalt person to just fix these little things?
BHM Construction Company Limited then assured that the remaining task would be completed.
There was a delay in the procurement process, but whilst we were waiting on the asphalt to be fixed, instead of just sitting and waiting, we took up the responsibility of demolishing the properties in our way when construction takes effect.
Drivers and commuters, however, have expressed disappointment over the slow pace of work on the road. Portions of the stretch are riddled with potholes, covered in dust and narrowed by diversions.
This runabout that was built has been left and has caused major traffic. Meanwhile, there is so much space in between.
They said the road is under construction, but if they don't do it, we will sit in the dust like this. We keep coughing, and when we go to the hospital, they tell us that the dust is too much.
Look at this traffic. It can take you 3 hours to get to Dawonya. Meanwhile, the journey is just about 5 minutes.
Until reconstruction is completed, commuters, traders and residents will have to endure the traffic and the dust.
Kindly share with us your encounters if you live within this very enclave of this very construction. You're active on Facebook. It's TV3 Ghana. Hopefully, whatever you share with us, we'll read them and share them to the rest of the world. And now, the Wildlife Division of the Forestry Commission is concerned over a surge in illegal hunting during the official close season. Despite strict laws, the practice continues to threaten Ghana's vulnerable animal population, leaving a tragic trail of orphaned wildlife in its wake.
These young buffalo and waterbuck are not zoo-born animals. They are the latest victims of illegal hunting, rescued after their mothers were likely killed, even during the government-mandated close season.
We have to follow our wildlife laws to protect these wildlife species for biodiversity conservation. If we continue to kill them indiscriminately, then in future we will not have any wildlife resources in the country to play the important role that they play.
Under the Wildlife Resources Management Act, the close season is a period designed to give animal populations a chance to breed and replenish undisturbed.
During this season, most wild animals are either pregnant or taking care of their young. So for such an act to happen during this season, it means some unscrupulous people have actually either killed the mother for food or for any other thing. And the Wildlife Resources Management Act actually gives us the power to arrest people, take them to court and they're prosecuted. And they could get a punishment of a penalty units of 250 to 500 penalty units, or imprisonment of 12 to 24 months.
But the care for these fragile orphans is intensive and expensive, a burden that stretches Kumasi Zoo's limited resources.
Feeding them is actually not easy. It's taking a toll on us. Currently, we are spending about 800 Ghana cedis a day to feed the cow because it takes fresh cow milk. We don't want to dilute it with any other milk to cause any infection to us. So I'm using this medium to appeal to individuals who are touched by this story to come and then adopt these young animals that we have in the zoo so that they can help in their upkeep. This is not to say that we can't take care of them, but it's also a call to people to help in the conservation of biodiversity.
While these rescues add to the zoo's collection, the message from the wildlife authorities is that the survival of these species shouldn't depend on last-minute rescues. It depends on prevention and a shared public responsibility to protect Ghana's wildlife for generations to come. The Wildlife Division confirms it is ramping up both public education and enforcement patrols to ensure the closed season is respected. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
The minority in Parliament has criticized government for not submitting policy documents for its flagship programs and initiatives like the 24-hour economy. Ranking member on the Economy and Development Committee, Kojo Nkrumah, has told journalists the move is undermining parliamentary oversight, despite a directive by the President for ministers to lay the program document before the legislature. It follows remarks by the majority leader, who had earlier said the details of those flagship programs were exhausted at the relevant committees during the consideration of the programs.
The big economic policy that is submitted just mentions these programs, that we'll do a 1 million coders program aimed at training 1 million people for digital skills. People will say here. A figure is put by it. The minister will show up at committee level to defend his whole budget is approved. It doesn't mean that the program document has been brought to Parliament or has even been published. So as at now, you have 11 programs and initiatives that this government has launched on various platforms, and ministers have been giving hundreds of millions of Ghana cedis ostensibly to go and execute them. I can take you through the list. 1 million coders program, the 24-hour economy program, the jobs export program, the Jumera program, the national apprenticeship program, the Tree for Life program. Many people don't even know about it. The Accra Reset program, the president launched it at the UN. The One Child, One Tree initiative. Then quite recently, they've launched the Ghana Infrastructure Plan, the free tertiary for persons with disabilities, and then the No Free Stress program. These are about 11 programs government has launched. And our argument is that not one of them has had the program document that tells you, so what is the target, what is the selection criteria, what is the results framework, what are the key performance indicators, so that you can exercise oversight. Even if not just by us members of parliament, you, the media, do you know the details? Do civil society members know the details? Does the general public know? How does even an ordinary person know and access? So it's important that the program documents are properly laid before Parliament so that the work of oversight can start. My intelligence suggests that it's even been discussed at Cabinet, and the President has instructed that the minister should bring the program documents to Parliament. So I think it's important. We don't need to run away from it. The program documents need to come so that now Parliament is seized with it and then oversight can start.
Meanwhile, the former Information Minister, Kojo Nkrumah, has also expressed worry over a draft cybersecurity bill which he fears could criminalize speech. And according to him, the proposed legislation seeks to make it an offense to post or share comments in online chat groups that may be considered offensive or insightful. President John Dramani Mahama recently announced a plan to trace the IP addresses of individuals spreading hate speech or inciting violence with the aim of holding them accountable.
What we are seeing appears to be a draft, and that they want to consult on that draft. From what I have seen as a former information minister, this draft is dangerous, though it's not surprising. And let me explain why it's not surprising. It's not surprising because I think the president first announced it, that they are going to use the national security apparatus to go after people who make comments on social media that they consider, for whatever reason, whether it's under hate speech or it's under whatever, they consider it unfavorable. They're going to search for your IP addresses and then get the security apparatus to go after you. The president himself said it. So it's not surprising that his minister is now following up with a draft bill with such wild provisions in there. What is dangerous about it is that over the last set of decades, various countries have been moving away from criminalizing speech. There are other remedies for speech that may be deemed unfavorable, most of them civil, but not necessarily criminalizing it. Even the Criminal Libel and Sedition Act was repealed by the Kufuor administration. There are still remnants of laws that still seek to criminalize speech. For example, this law that is being used a lot, publication of false news, with intent of causing fear and panic, is one of those laws that actually still needs to be repealed. Instead of repealing that to advance, democratic freedoms, the government is now seeking through this draft that it wants to consult on to enact legislation that will now even ensure that when you put up a comment in your chat groups and they find it offensive according to their criteria, you could go to jail. And I think it's a very dangerous, encroachment into the area of free speech. The government needs to tread cautiously. I'm hopeful that when the consultations start, the government will see wisdom in backtracking and ensuring that instead of rather seeking to further criminalize speech, even the remnant laws on criminalization of speech should be repealed.
Well, if you're just student, you're watching the Morning News, the first bulletin of the day on TV3. And in more news this morning, procrastination robbed her of a farewell she would have forever cherished, keeping her from meeting the former First Lady, Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings, until her demise. The over 18-year bond Sewa MC shared with the former First Lady, Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings, projects her as only a respecter of person and an embodiment of women empowerment. The tears, the pains, the wailing is not enough to bring back a cherished friend, Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings. If she had the opportunity to bring her back, she said, she would gladly do so. Sewa MC first met the former First Lady, Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings, in 2007. She had composed a song for the NDC, which attracted some fondness from Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings. Since then, their friendship transitioned into an enviable sisterhood. Their last encounter was in Kumasi in the early part of this year. Thereafter, several requests for her to come and visit the former First Lady at a rich residence never materialized.
I have deep regrets, and similar thing happened between Nana Akufo-Addo and myself. I'm really in pain.
She tells me she has learnt a lot from Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings. Top of it is being courageous.
The lady distracted our cordial encounter one time, and Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings was furious about the act. Indeed, she had respect for everyone.
Sewa MC is not the only one had heard about the demise of the former First Lady. Cynthia Nana Akufo-Addo is one of them. She was named after the former First Lady by her dad, who had closely worked with her at UTC. For Cynthia's dad, naming her daughter after the former First Lady was not enough to return a favor from Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings. Cynthia revealed that she has received a lot of favor just by bearing the name. She shared her export experience with me.
I was traveling one day, and at the airport, I was having excess luggage. The agency asked for my passport, which they wanted to take part of my things from the luggage. So I gave them my passport, and they saw my name. So they asked if I'm from Ashanti. So I told them I'm not. So they asked me why am I having such name. Then I told them I was named after the late Mrs. Rawlings. So immediately my luggage was forced into the machine for me to go.
Her pieces of advice and encouragement will forever play an integral role in her life.
I went there and I wasn't active. She was like, "Are you sure that you were named after me? If not, I would take away my name from your name." So immediately I felt something entered me, and from then I've been strong and active. So, and at times to encouragement for you to be stronger. Not only men should be strong, women too can be empowered.
Ghana is mourning the demise of the longest-serving First Lady. Many people attest to the fact that she never paid lip service to the welfare and advancement of women.
I wished I did.
You didn't?
I didn't.
You never had ministers removed?
Not at all.
You never influenced in the background?
Not at all.
Ambassadors, people all over the world?
Absolutely not. How come there were not enough women in there? I was pushing for women to be put in places.
Yeah.
I hardly got any.
But you were not
very
pushing
little.
for women to be put in places?
Yes, I was.
But there were people in places already.
Men.
Quite a few men, that's right.
Men.
Some Nigerians who only knew her from afar attested to her boldness and the mother figure role for women.
The way she ties her duku, like a Nigerian, it just gives that atmosphere of love. So it's a very sad thing, and we sympathize with the family and the nation at large.
Strong woman. You see, I love the way she talks and she stands on what she says. She stands by it.
The opening of the family meeting at the Ridge residence on Friday, October 24, witnessed a number of dignitaries, including former President Nana Akufo-Addo and wife Rebecca Akufo-Addo, former President John Ejekum Kufuor, former Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, among other dignitaries coming in to commiserate with the family. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf sent light and love to the family in order to sustain the loss.
To all the family members, may God give you all the strength. This is a particularly important woman in what she has stood for in her life, the events she has promoted in her life, the example she has set for women that are strong in their faith and strong in their commitment to God and to country. May God bless all of you and enable you to be strong enough to sustain this loss.
A book of condolence has been opened in the honor of the late former First Lady Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings, and so dignitaries, friends, families and loved ones have the opportunity to pen something about the former First Lady. For children led by MP for Kole Klote, Dr. Zenata Agyeman Rawlings, they are still processing the situation.
If it were not as serious as it is, the fitting caption would probably be "What a shock," because that's exactly how we are all feeling today. I think most of us are still processing the situation, but the fact is, as people who believe that God gives and God takes, we must accept that this is where we are today because God has chosen to take away his own.
The family meeting at the Ridge residence resumes on Monday, October 27, where they are expected to welcome sympathizers, mourners to extend their condolences. She will forever be remembered, her legacy, her ideals, and what she stood for. George Queenan, TV3 News, Ridge, Accra. Like the story rightly mentioned, the family meeting resumes today at the Ridge residence. And may her soul continue to rest in perfect peace. That's how we end the morning news. For more news update, just log on to our website, is3news.com. Alternatively, join my colleagues, Mawina Egbata and Kemini Amono at 12 on News Central. In a world where you can be anything, just be kind. It costs nothing to be kind. Thanks for watching. Have a good morning.
Kwame and his uncle are almost
Yeah. And, you know, Mauli School, they did great. I went to Bishop Herman College. It's based in Pando in the Volta region as well. So we are the biggest school in the Volta. But Mauli, Charlie, I think they did, I don't know. What
over the weekend, it was everywhere.
The pre-event activation was what did everything on social media.
Yes.
The colors, you know, the bars and everything. And, and it tells you about how if you want to make an entry into a market, that market penetration strategy is very important.
Yeah, I mean,
how you tend to do the pre-event activation is very important. And Mali School just had everything on point.
It was just
amazing. And they kept bragging about how they had the potential.
Yes,
but they don't have musicians and things like that, you know. They're the only school that have they are bragging 75. They haven't produced some of the best musicians we have. Charlie, what's up? How was the weekend?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. I heard Haruna Idrisu, the Minister of Education, talking about.
Yes, he's trending. Yes,
we'll discuss it for big issues the last part. Yeah,
who went to? I mean,
Eduje Tamaklu is coming.
Yeah,
purely. He has a lot of boys as well. Girls. So I'm asking.
So hopefully he should be telling us what he makes of the decision not to allow girls to keep long hair in schools. Yes.
All right. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know whether we can ask that for this morning conversation.
I think we should because I mean people have really
it's quite a fascinating thing.
That.
So we'll see how that.
What do you think about it anyway?
Me?
Yes.
Well, let me say good morning to Chairman Godwin Tamaklo. Has at least, I know, 2 girls as his children. He is the group chief executive for the RAID group. Chairman Prosper also has 2 girls as well. So I can well associate. And then Davina's mom as well. So Delcy, all of you tend to have a lot of ladies. So we'll see how we'll have a great conversation.
But you still haven't shared your opinion though.
We have cash out. It goes with Shoko *439#. Choose option 2. Increase the number of tickets you have. Become one of those lucky winners. And Beatrice,
today is a Monday. Yes,
whose birthday?
Today is a Monday.
Okay,
you want to cash out and get thousands.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I have forgotten the question.
And this week is a broke week where everybody is broke till they get paid.
Yeah, the last week of the month.
Yeah.
Today is 20.
Everybody is broke, but they keep a very stern face.
Well,
all those who went to the Mauli School program went to spend all their money. Please cash out.
There are some people who were paid 25th, so that may not necessarily be their case. Yeah. If you're paid late, then you'll be broke.
Yeah.
And
so you're asking me my opinion?
Yes, your opinion.
I think I agree with the Minister for Education.
Why?
If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Why?
We should not allow privileges of the privileged few to become the norm for everybody else. All right.
So
let's go through the lineup and I will talk about this.
So today we've got
the This Morning segment.
We've got
then we'll bring you big issues. We're talking big on the MPP primaries. The thing I've loved about the primary is that, you know, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia says that you cannot use the sins of his followers as part of what he stands for, all right? Because we've had a lot of utterances thrown, especially at Kenny Japong, and Brian Champon also is also taking a dig at DMB as well. But let's look at the potentials. What does the race look like? The primaries or the presidential primary for the MPP? They are the biggest opposition party, just went out of government about 9 months ago. And so potentially what they do in their camp is of public interest. So I want to discuss that this morning. And we will be doing that premised also on a number of polls that have been done. The other one said Kenny Japon was leading. And then we also have the Global Info Analytics survey also indicating that DMB is leading. So, you know, we're going to take a look at all that. If you're in any of the camps, what do you think? Kenny Japon has been doing something good. I saw on TikTok.
Yeah.
All right. He's been using, I don't know whether a product from some of his companies also as part of his campaign. I don't know the essence of that, but quite an interesting
they've all
one.
been very busy campaigning in various constituencies across the country. But again, the question is not about what Kennedy Japon is saying or Brian Champon is saying. I think a lot of the time when you hear people condemn some of the comments that come from the aspirant or the hopeful, is that the party should be able to say that we do not associate ourselves with these kind of comments, so that people know clearly that you do not support whatever the individual is saying. So that's basically been the argument, really. Yes. But beyond that, we'll have representatives of the Bank of Ghana joining us in studio. Roland, are you aware that the CD is 60 years?
Yes,
Yes.
they launched the anniversary.
Yes.
And
So-
this year also potentially for the Ghana month, we went to the Museums and Monuments Board, the one in Accra, and they took us through the evolution of the city.
Yeah.
And so they told us that the city was 60 years this year.
Yes. So
Yeah,
we'll be having a conversation on that.
Oh, they'll be coming through.
Yeah, they'll be coming
Great.
through to have a conversation on that. Yes. So we've got a packed show for you. You want to stay tuned in? Yes. But yes, you're welcome to this morning, and we already did tell you that we're talking about whether or not you agree with the Minister for Education, Haruna Idrisu, that girls should not be keeping long hair in school, or students should just keep their hair short. What do you think? Call in and share your thoughts with us. Perhaps you want to know exactly what Mr. Haruna Idrisu said regarding keeping hair short in schools. Let's watch this first before we get your thoughts.
There is an ongoing debate in social media about haircuts and size and length of hair in secondary schools. We will not tolerate it today, we will not tolerate it tomorrow, and so long as we are molding character. If we give in to head today, tomorrow it will be shoes, and the next day it will be the way they dress. Therefore, as part of our disciplinary measures, headmasters and GS, you are accordingly empowered to take full control of how students behave on your campuses. So anybody who thinks that your child will walk into any institution of learning as if that child, forgive my words, was to attend a beauty contest, the school environment is not for that purpose and not cut for that purpose, and we will not tolerate that as an institution. There is a lot of growing indiscipline in our schools, some even with teachers abusing learners. We will not accept that. We will apply heavy sanctions to any teacher who wants to take advantage of the learner. And to the students, you only can walk away from Maule School with two values: discipline and integrity, and the future is yours. So Maule School, you have every reason today at 75 to celebrate.
Education Minister at the Maule Senior High School there. But Mejina joins us now. Good morning to you, Mejina. It's great to have you this morning. I hope you're well.
Oh, by the grace, I'm doing quite well and great.
Yes.
Where is my cookie tea?
He's on leave.
He's on leave.
Yes.
Then I will join her.
That's fine.
I'm praying that she should enjoy the leave very well. She has been working tirelessly. I pray for God to give her more wisdom, more strength, and to be able to give more to the society. We really appreciate her and all of you. You are doing wonderful work. And before I start, let me take this opportunity to thank the Techiman South MC that work on serious municipality and have won media personnel who unprofessionally trying to damage his image. Else he would seek a redress in court by letting them to define what they are doing. I mean, he has been doing well. The municipality has been able to generate a lot of ideas, and it is in order we create him to do that for the people of Tichima. But then some people in the market are really seeking for assistance, like vegetable sellers. They don't have a place to sit. Vegetable sellers, they don't have preservation storage material, and they run lost. I think our mothers need to be taken care of. So, NC, as you are listening, NC, I'm calling you to pay attention to these matters. I think the regional, the education minister has said it all. But then, I don't think this is the most important thing for the society. What I am envisaging is that we should rather pay more attention to the facilities that are lacking in some communities. When you come to Bono, go to a place like Probo, Isakrum, and the rest, the people are sitting dilapidated structure. I have been there myself. People are drinking, the students are drinking water from the pond. These are not the things that we should be envisaging. These are the things that we should be focusing rather than whether you cut your head or not. We have people who smoke weed, and you see that they have a sweat to cut their head down, but they smoke weed. They are not well cultured. So ethically, it is not your hair that will define whether you are ethically good or not. But your action, your behavior will determine whether you are somebody. Remember that that issue rose, and we were fighting among ourselves. We should admit him. We shouldn't admit him. At the end of the day, he became the best scholar in our. He was a rapper. So these things, I don't think it matters. But we have to let the right thing be done. We coach the children to have morals, good morals. It's not the head that will determine whether somebody is bad or good. But then I still praise Harun Edrusu for even coaching us not to also copy more foreign culture. I think it's handled aside with the education minister that we should coach our children to be future leaders. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Major. Now, giving us a double-edged sword kind of argument there. Doesn't think that it affects intelligence and still supporting the minister.
Well, on social media, they said it's not the most important thing. I don't think the education minister
said the same thing.
I don't think the education minister has said this was the most. It was something that became a topical issue on social media.
Yes.
And social media is now becoming the platform for aggregating views of the generality of the public. So the minister, only in one instance among the many points he raised in that speech at the 75th anniversary of Maoli School, only touched on that. Because it's still topical, the assumption is that the minister was only focusing on that. And indeed, he's been doing many other things. Just the last week, the president had cause to commend him for ensuring that, for example, school didn't have problems, apart from, let's say, placement issues and some of those things. The education system has been running so well. And so he had cause to commend him, etc. So I think that is a misnomer, so to speak,
but I think,
misconstruing what the facts are.
Yeah, I think he was clear. Like you just said, he even talked about discipline and some of the things that the students at the Maoli Senior High School needed in order to have a good future. But for me, I saw what he said as a reminder that in the midst of all that I'm saying, this is how we go with our schools. And so I'm just reminding you.
Well, for me, I support him. Of course, if you're a Rastafarian, you have to be given the opportunity because of what you believe in to go put on your locks. Or if you have natural hair that tends to be long, yes. Those are exceptions. They are not the rules.
I think we should be able to... I think we can look at this in a 360, holistic way, because there are those who associate this with a slavery period, colonial period. There are those who also, like Majina, agree with the minister. And for those, for instance, this morning before we came on, I was saying that the young girl who was going to Yasantua Senior High School, for instance, you could tell that it was her natural hair.
Yes, because I think she's of mixed race. I'm sure
it was her natural hair. But I understood that
she's an
she
exception
was going
to the rule.
Yes, she was going to boarding school. So if we have girls like her who are going to day school, where they know that they are going home every day, they have the opportunity to take care of the hair, because that's also another thing.
But a rule is a rule.
Well, let's. I agree, but I think that we should look at it.
It's your opinion, so you make your opinion.
So Colin, share your views with us. Master Planner is actually on the line with us. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Master Planner?
Yes. Tell us what's on
This is the second time he's getting through.
Yes.
Fantastic. Good morning, Roland.
Yeah, Zach, what's up?
Good. I don't think everything is fine. However, let me say special good morning to you and the schools and the production team. And then special good morning to former President Nanadi Donkokufa, former Vice President Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, and all MPP executives, especially Deputy National Organizer Chris Nana Lloyd, hopefully he will be our MPP next national youth organizer. The man is working very hard. I don't know, Roland, if you come across this comment by Honorable Rasmubarak, the former MP for Umungu. Did you see his comment?
He's asking you.
He said, let me quote him directly. How does keeping kids' hair short stop them from growing to be double salary takers or corrupt politicians? Mubarak. That was what he said. So I'm really surprised this whole match started so early at this crucial moment. But the fact of the matter is that keeping your hair short or long doesn't affect you academically. We send our children to school for discipline and then also to achieve their academic purposes. But, Roland, we shouldn't make it as if growing hair is foreign culture. No. Our grandparents, they used to keep their hair, but they keep it nicely and decently. So we should be advocating for the children to maybe you have a specific hairstyle you keep in your school and those stuff. That is what we should be focusing more on. But if you tell us that they should keep their hair short, no, it's a non-starter. Look at this who went to Achimota school. Now one of them is even having scholarship, schooling outside, and currently one of the best students in the universities outside Ghana. So keeping your hair short or long is a non-starter in our SHS. Even our basic schools, we have children in basic schools that keep long hair, and they are performing well. We should be more concerned about the children's performance. Discipline and stuff is from both house and then the school. So we are begging with the education minister, he should channel his energy elsewhere. We SHS is going on smoothly. You can't run away from that fact. President Muhammad, we applaud him for that. So they should focus more on infrastructure development and the rest. But the children well-being and stuff, haircuts is a non-starter for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Master Planner, for calling in and sharing your views with us. Roland, I guess you may disagree with him, but that's his opinion.
Well,
again.
the minister has not said that if you keep your hair short, it makes you more intelligent. By this time, we would have produced the best scientists. So I think they say it's a disciplinary code.
Yeah.
So that if we want it to be taken off, fine. I mean,
but you don't see anything wrong with it.
I don't. If it's not broken, you don't fix it. But if we think that, I for me think, supposing I had daughters, you have to go to the salon, go and fix the hair, you shampoo it. It depends, and then depending on the livelihood of the parents, how much they earn.
Yeah.
They determine the styles, how many times you spend in the salon, how it has to be treated, etc.
Yeah.
So they say all level play. I understand it's very colonial.
Yeah.
All right. The white man brought it, so etc. But I'm not sure they did it in India, because Indians naturally have the hair you people wear. The human hair is Indian or for
Not
Indian
all
origin.
of them. Yes, you have human hair and Peruvian hair.
Natural hair, like
natural,
all of them.
yes.
They cut their hair. They cut their hair, then they put the strands together. Then you people go and buy very expensive. Is that not it? It's their natural hair. You people, but the hair grows like this.
Yeah, because it's kinky. But you don't.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't keep your hair. You can. You can keep your natural hair.
Keeping your hair doesn't mean you're going to perm it. You can still keep the kinky hair. But again, the argument is about how you're able to keep it well. Let's go to Kumasi. We have Umar join us. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us what's on your mind today.
Hi, good morning, Roland and Beatrice. Please, I would want to ask, what is the essence of us cutting the hair that to the students? Personally, I feel like it doesn't make sense. Because if we keep our hair, it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be brilliant or something. Fine, you can keep it decently. Like the nursing schools, you see, they allow them to braid their hair. Why can't we do this to the SHS students? I think it will be prudent for the authorities to look at this thing in a holistic manner, because I don't think it makes sense for students to be cutting their hair whenever they are going to school. It doesn't make sense to me, though, but I think that is the honorable thing to do when it comes to the SHS students. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Very precise and short. Omar, thank you so much for sharing your views with us. Well, let me remind you that there's a world-class university right here in Ghana, Rosebank International University, a strong South African university and a brand of the ADV Tech Group, Africa's largest private education provider with 146 schools across 5 African countries and over 100,000 learners, and partly owned by the World Bank through the IFC. Rosebank International University is fully accredited by the South African Qualifications Authority, the British Accreditation Council, GTEC in Ghana, City Guild UK, and Capsicum Culinary Studio. At Rosebank International University, we offer a Doctor of Business Administration, MBA, Master of Science, and Master of Philosophy in Digital Marketing, Bachelor of Supply Ghana, Chain Management, targeting professionals in freight forwarding, customs, etc. We offer hospitality and culinary arts available at diploma, undergraduate and postgraduate levels. ICT has a BSc Information Technology in Business Systems and IT Computer Application Development, all carefully designed to equip you with the skills and qualifications needed for a successful global career. Our mission is simple: inspiring excellence. Remember, admissions are now open for January 2026. Visit our modern campus at Airport Commercial or Pebia House, Accra, or apply online at www.riuc.edu.gh. Rosebank International University, building global citizens. And we have Kwame Aferi join us on the phone as well. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us where you're calling us from and what you think of our topic today.
Yes. I'm calling in regard to
Hello, Mr. Afari.
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead. We can hear you.
Yes. First of all, TV3 is my favorite TV channel in Ghana. Yeah. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Yes. I completely disagree with the education minister and Roland. And in fact, cutting the hair short shouldn't be a disciplinary code, because I've lived in a country where the kids have a different hairstyles, but they are disciplined and they excel in their studies. So I think the environment will determine how disciplined the kids will be. Sometimes cutting their hair too short even makes them, excuse my words, make them ugly. But I mean, the girls have to look pretty, you know. So the environment will determine how disciplined they will be. Roland, I know you have a big voice, you know, to this, but at this time, I don't agree with you. You know, things change as we go ahead, you know. So, I mean, they can have a different style of their hair. They could still be disciplined, and they could still excel in their studies. This is my view. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for calling in. Roland, obviously...
Well, potentially, it looks like I'm losing the argument. Myself and the minister, though. But yeah, it's not. It's just an opinion that I share, and so it's not like it's sacrosanct, all right? So I have this one also from Felicia Abani Awa. Good morning to you, as well as to your husband, Kofi, as well. Very important. And he says, Majina has won my heart this morning. And the main message he said I should read was, or is, what the education minister said is so colonial and primitive, and so he should apologize. it is natural hair, not others' hair. If you don't love your natural hair, it makes you inferior and negativities follow you all the time. So that's a position he holds. And then Moses also says that, look, my daughters wear locks. And I have to tell you, based on my own experience, locks are easy to maintain. You can either bath inside, okay, bit my room. Pure vernacular. You can, so you can bath the hair, all right?
I mean, shampoo the hair.
Okay, and relock after 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Potentially, you know. So it looks like the modern men and women are making me lose my argument. And this one is coming from Erickson MK, who says that, dear hair warriors, kindly petition to have Article 14(1)(e) expunged from our 1992 Constitution. The minister isn't on the side of our culture, tradition, and discipline, but he's on the side of our supreme law, the 1992 Constitution. Hey. The most unfortunate part of this pointless brouhaha is where we have a very senior comrade, a former MP, Ras Mubarak, taking a potential or having a potential attack on the education minister. And that is regrettable. You say, how can it be watched and nobody is questioning? All right. And then Aziz Donla said he agrees with the minister.
Yeah. Let's go to Emmanuel, and perhaps I hope I'll be able to read to you the Article 14(e) that he's referring to, so you have a clear understanding of what he's saying. But let's get a thought of Emmanuel. Good morning to you, sir. Tell us where you're calling us from. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. My name is Emmanuel, calling from Cape Coast.
Hi, I hope Cape Coast is well.
Yes, first of all, I want people to know that the teacher cannot dress anyhow. The teacher who makes sure that the child do the right thing has a way to dress. We are not talking about the hair making the child intelligent or not. If we agree that people can dress anyhow, the next argument will be the uniform. The uniform has got nothing to do with a child being academically good or not. So we should always have a code of conduct that students must follow. Look at how beautifully you people, you've dressed and you are seated. It is because your work says that you should dress well. Dressing or being in suit doesn't mean you speak the truth or not, but then it is part of your code. So the hair, of course, has got nothing to do with the child being intelligent or not, but then we are talking about code of conduct here. If it is about religion, fine, we can discuss that. But then we are talking about discipline, and that is where the argument should be placed. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, I have a number of 2 and 4 and against comments. So this one is coming from Kenzie. Good morning to you, Adam. He says, students are not sent to school to do what pleases them. They go to learn and be reformed. People will take you on. Cutting your hair short allows one to wash his or her scalp with water. In case of some of the schools where water is hard to get, how are girls going to get their hairs treated often when allowed to keep them? We all know what happens when ladies keep their hairs untouched for a while. Bro, you know, it smells badly. From which ladies? Are you indicting me? What are you saying? And then potentially we have other comments as well. So, okay, so this one also is coming from, Zilis Dwayne lives in the UK. He says that the Rasta case is a different one. It is an exception. And that was a religious issue because they felt that was it. Kwame Boateng says that all those making the argument on social media are those who have their children going to international schools. The Galaxies, hey, I beg you, remove the names. And all of them, where they have their money to be able to treat their girls' hair. Nobody is saying that intelligence is equated to how long or short your hair is. The point is, this is a regulation. You adhere to it. Can you imagine a potential senior high school that doesn't have enough water flowing through its taps? They are cramped in their dormitories, and worst of the hair is also not being treated just because they are wearing long hair. Why are we trying to make an exception the rule? Very interesting.
I was just trying to verify the Article 14E that...
about rights.
Yes, but I'm not really getting...
It's not related to...
Yeah, it's not really
just
related.
talking about your rights.
Yes, it's just, yeah. So anyway, so remember that the numbers are showing on your screen. You can still call in and share your thoughts with us. Do you side with what the education minister is saying, or you think, like others have called in to say, there should be a holistic approach towards this and the concerns of maintenance? Let's speak to Seidu. Good morning to you. You're joining us from Akache, I believe, in the Volta region. I hope you're well.
Yes. Good morning to you and Roland. Our educational system is in such a way that sometimes, you see, the school is an institution where character is being molded. Okay. So when you go to romance, you do what romance do. Now that we just called got my heart. And I thank him very much. You bringing your child to school means you want him or her to come and learn something and bring back home. So you don't expect your will to be done, because in our schools we don't have the means and we don't have the facilities to maintain here. So just look at how people try to mold life, character. So you bringing your child to school with locks or whatever, or long hair, how do we care for those kind of hair? And you can just imagine, you leaving your child to school maybe 6 or 4 months before the child comes home. They can't take that burden. So they should just bear with the teachers.
Well, thank you very much.
I thank my brother who just called because I did. But the parents should also bear with the teachers. They should also bear with them.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much for calling us from Akache in the Volta region and sharing those views. Roland, I can imagine that there are a lot more messages coming through.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of more messages. Alhaji Jibril of National Security, who has been assigned to the Tema Industrial Area Enclave, says good morning and says the interesting topic you people are discussing today. I think that should be the national agenda, though. But extend my greetings to DCOP Agojo of National Security HR, Edmond Combat, the Managing Director for the Tema Oil Refinery, for coming to my late mom's Adoa that was convened over the weekend. And my condolences to you, Alhaji Jibril of the National Security. Okay, so, all right.
Yes.
And so potentially... so I have this one also from a great friend of mine, Fred Ampo. Good morning to you, who is also an educationist, by the way. This hair thing is so repugnant that I just don't know what society wants. Then why don't we allow students to wear tattoos on their skins? Why don't we allow them to wear long beard to class, or allow them to send phones to school? I mean, is that what is occupying our minds in the name of rights? The next point, we're going somewhere else. Fred Ampo. Charlie, this man, strong man.
Let's go to Paul, who joins us live on the phone. Good morning to you, Paul. I hope you're well. Tell us why you're calling us. Okay, we've lost Paul, but you're going to read more messages, Roland. What is it do you want to say about this message that you're keeping?
Hi, Charlie. Now, this is one, and then also, so I have this one from Celestine. Also, Celestine, your message is now loading. Okay. Echo Scariana, good morning to Echo Anna. Great guy. It's been a while. He says, the hair grooming thing is a colonial inheritance and relic. We need to win ourselves off it. Look, if you go deep into how the colonialists decided to colonize our various countries or kingdoms before they became countries at independence, they shaved the hair off so that they could, lower the confidence of their subjects. By so doing, they make them inferior to them and allowed their girls in their various European countries to keep long hair. By shaving off somebody, it clearly shows that that person is beneath you. It is to reduce the person's confidence and create an inferiority complex. In this modern day, we are all confident, high-earning people. And so why are we allowing a colonial inherited regulation to still be on our books for schools? This is, he also uses, this is repulsive, I say. And then he says preposterous. Hey.
Strong words this morning.
Yeah, they are normal words though, but very strong, yes.
Yes, let's go to Wedam, who joins us, I believe, from the Western region. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, tell us what's on your mind.
Yes, good morning, madam. With my point of view, if they think the hair has nothing to do with the students' learning, why do we keep on complaining of depleted schools and their trees? If you know, you know. We have people who attended schools and their trees and excelled. So they should go by the code of conduct of schools. If a madam should wear short skirts to class, would you be able to learn? No. Same way the students who, like somebody said, the students' hair make them beautiful. Fine. If you say their hair make them beautiful, and me as a male teacher, I'm enticed by that, is it my making? I mean, they should go by the code of conduct of schools. So if you are comparing nursing training to those of secondary schools, nursing training, we assume they are a bit adults. Mm-hmm. But secondary school, we should guide them, let them know that there are some things they are not to do. They should be guided. So we shouldn't just talk of it. They should forget of it. The schools know what is good for the students. If you don't, then let's all, why do we even push our kids to the category A schools? Because we assume or we claim they do better. If haircuts or hairstyle is something, we shouldn't be worrying ourselves pushing our kids to category A or category B. All schools, I do know the same teachers.
Very interesting.
So with me, to me, they should just forget of it. That is the code of conduct of schools. They should do it.
They should maintain it.
They should do it. Yes.
Yeah, they should maintain it.
I see.
Yes.
This one is coming from Araba Seguamoni. Good morning to you. Mrs. Chikata says that subscription is acceptance. The moment you accept a public school, it comes with down hair, down cut. In quotation marks. But if you go to the fancy schools, why not? You are allowed to wear your hair. Look, I don't see the need for this back and forth. People have done it, and people are still doing it, and people will keep doing it. It's only for 3 years, for God's sake. After that, you are entitled to put on the best wig caps in the world, put on locks, and treat the hair that you want. You will just be 18 at most. What is your worry? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think earlier you were talking about that bit about chemicals as well, applying chemicals in your hair too early and the effects that they have on you as you age. And
the hormonal disruptions due to the chemicals.
So call in. The numbers are still on your screen and share your thoughts with us. What do you think? Looks like we have mixed opinion there.
Yeah.
Those supporting the minister.
It's the rich people. The rich people in the society, they are supporting it. We don't know more. And so we have Prince Daniel York. Do we have another caller? Says that if they don't like it, they should take the awards to private senior high schools or even the GSCE schools. Why are they all doing that?
Yeah. Let's go to Enoch. He joins us live from the Central Region. Good morning to you, Enoch. I hope you're well. Tell us what you think of what we're talking about today.
Well, talking about this dress code in this particular thing, I think we should say that the go straight. You want to be a student, you must live like a student. And in every institution, they have rules that you need to abide by. So you can't be in the SHS and be expected to allow to live any
way you want. Secondly, the purpose of going to school is not just to come out as a qualified academic, but also to shape your life in a certain way so that when you appear, people by your appearance alone tells that you are educated. So this whole thing about children should be allowed with a 10 hair or something like that, it's a no-no. You want to be in school, be a student. Just be a student so that a teacher can give you what is needed. You get out of school and then everybody will see that your life has been shaping well. And those talking about those colonialism something, it is neither here or there because they brought the education you want to attend today. So why are you trying to say they were shaving our hair to differentiate us and so, no. I don't even buy into that. That is all I can say. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for also calling us from the Central Region and your thoughts with us, Roland. There you have it.
Idi Amin says, please, the minister is talking about the code of conduct, which is in place. If we allow hair to be put on their hair or to be allowed, if we allow all types of hair today, tomorrow it will be about their uniform. Do you remember that the previous government said that the teachers should not cane a student? I believe that is why we're getting poor results from the school. I'm not too sure. Okay. I think that, yeah. And also having Ras Mubarak, a former MP, speaking like that, casting aspersions towards the current minister,
but
is just despicable.
Don't forget that Ras Mubarak used to be a Rastafarian, so, I mean, his views shouldn't be that surprising to people. He kept...
I wasn't surprised by his view.
Yes.
He was a Rastafarian before his hair fell off.
Yes. So, yes, let's go to Mohammed from Tamale in the Northern Region. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us what you're thinking today.
Good morning, Beatrice and Roland. I hope you are all doing well.
Very well. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Yes, today is my first time of connecting to you guys, and I'm happy, very happy to join the listen today.
Great. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. And so I want to also contribute to what you are discussing this morning. And what I would like to say is that, you see, people are being so different that the minister didn't just talk about the haircut. Why was he also saying that those teachers who are taking advantage of the children are also to be dealt with? In the sense that the children are at the stage of their lives that they need to take them out to take decisions. They don't take decisions for themselves. I don't know whether I get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
They don't take decisions for themselves. So where they find themselves, they need to guide them, put them through a certain, behavior structuring program, so that they will be guided to a certain point that they can take their own decisions. And when they get to that point, I don't think a minister will say they should implement certain behaviors in these our universities and these tertiary institutions. So at this point of their lives, you don't expect the children to be taking decisions on their own or what they want. You model them to a certain point in their life. Then they can decide. They have the freedom to now choose to do whatever they want. But at this point, if you let them take decisions that will affect them, just like you can't allow the female teachers to have their way through them. I think we have to look at it in a holistic manner. We don't have to be selective, saying that he is being primitive. I heard somebody say it is primitive. What does it mean?
Well, thank
you very much.
Thank you very much, Mohammed, for calling us from the Northern Region. Thank you so much for sharing your views as well with us. Yes.
All right. Okay, so we'll wrap up right now and go for a break, come and do big issues. So I have a couple of messages, I'll read them. This one is coming from Ejiriba. Good morning to you, Mom. Wishing you all the best. I just want to share my thoughts. Please don't mention my name. Okay. I think we are now endorsing indiscipline. School is meant for learning and not to show of how pretty one is. Imagine the hours a student will use beautifying her hair before classes. Well, they might as well allow them to wear long nails and lashes. Yeah. Well, Beatrice is in support of the current...
No, I'm not.
You are?
I'm not.
And then Sherry Giovanni, Sammy, good morning to you. He's a regular watcher and contributor. He says, I respectfully disagree with the Minister of Education. We schooled with Caucasians meaning white people, who keep their natural long hairs when they are in Ghana, but didn't distract us from studies. I attended basic school where some of the male teachers who are from England even put on multiple earrings, but it never distracted us as students. I think the children with long hairs should be controlled on how they keep their hair. If the girl was a Caucasian, would they cut her hair? Good morning to Miss Miriam Ogawa of UEW. It's the same opinion that Felicia Abani-Awa also seems to have.
Yeah.
And then lawyer Koku Abuchi, today they have messages. So lawyer Koku Abuchi, then so they call me. They give me a message.
Is lawyer with you or the education minister on this one?
Let me read this one. Kids in senior high school should never and ever be permitted to wear long hair or dreadlocks. Lawyer Koku Abuchi continues. School regulations exist to cultivate discipline, uniformity, and concentration on the academic excellence, not to emphasize personal style or appearance. Allowing long hair would lead to unnecessary distractions, rivalry over hairstyles as we see amongst the older folks, and challenges in maintaining proper hygiene, all of which may erode the spirit of equality and order that our schools strive to uphold. Moreover, compliance with grooming standards help equip students for future professional settings where adherence to rules, near presentation, and self-discipline are equally vital. And then you see Felicia Abani, they say Beatrice is always calm, and I love the way she's arguing. And he says, Ras Mubarak will beat you. Okay? Chief Mante says we cannot allow our children to live anyhow. They need to be trained and shaped to become good citizens in future. What is wrong in asking a teenage girl or boy to shape their hair? Very well. And then Cantona Nabo says, fact is, hair doesn't determine the intelligence of a student.
Indeed. Let's go to George Quayne now. He's currently at the Oxford Street right here, in Accra. He joins us live. He's having some interactions. Let's go to him now.
Among students in senior high schools has become a topical issue, and so this is what we are staying on, and we are here to just sample the views and thoughts of some Ghanaians on this very matter. Boss, good morning.
Good morning.
You are live on TV3, and me assure say, what is the minister now warning about, say, students enjoy mutimi? Who personally, I know you're a parent. Who is saying
it's not good to leave your head. Yeah, but personally, if you are educated or you are a normal human being, you are upcoming child, the parents or the guardian will have to let you know that if he is threatening you or giving you upgrade on all what you have to go in the school education, you shouldn't leave your hair anyhow like that. So you have to be neat. You have to be neat in schooling and everything as you do.
Okay, but look at this. So when you go to some of these second cycle institutions, some don't have good dormitories, they don't have enough infrastructure. Why would we not tackle that one? Just look at mere hairstyle. How would that affect, the well-being of, students? Because there are greater issues that we should tackle and not hairstyles and dressing.
No, to my suggestion it's also good to all those things to be also be tackled. But the hairstyle to also speak good well of your upcoming and your schooling. But to that aspect, to me, it's also the management or the company or the school management have to take care of that too. Yeah.
And also, lastly, there's a second one. So now it's very compulsory for local language to be used at the basic level. What do you make of it?
To me, because of the syllables, to me at first it was tackled about like from 7 syllables to 9 or 10, 11 syllables. Because maybe I don't know of the syllables now, maybe the educational background or the cycles are using now. But if those educational or the cycle of education or the language are being there, to me, it isn't a problem.
Thank you so much. So this is his thought. And you also watching home, you are not left out. We are active on Facebook, it's TV3 Ghana. And we also, seek your views on this matter. Hopefully read them and share them to the rest of the world. So, Daro, can you bring it because of, so, boss, we are live on TV3, so let's speak to this taxi driver. Because our camera is stationed here, we cannot, be mobile. We have to be, stationed at one side. Good morning. It's saying you are live on TV3. I'm giving you this very opportunity.
Okay.
But you're Oba.
Me Oba.
And to say Oba, ni TV no course kuni see ya Oba eden.
O me mana yi.
Wan kaso mani?
Yeah. Me mana yi because me rasta no.
or some
rasta be so your back no
memory now why nice as was a school girl sana me titini who say o kuswa you ti why nice obubo why you be no why gentleman
and the one say with the minister say be to be busa question bia but see am so no e very compulsory say be use local language say twi ni ai be o
and no crab more money to because China say oko China omo kan na omo ti ase me say inflation ho an me ti ase enti wo ya ban mu nipa na oko inflation me nim de cause wo ka say o man ma dey say ni say na ye discard cause dia meti wase
na so bi so be ka say wo be che oba ni twi wo fi enti oko skwa wo ko twi ska na isa ko che ni twi
o man o so twi ni brofo nyina na emom na onfanye o ka say bi atwi obi ho sekan kra ka say sekan onum sekan enso ka che say we friend sekan na onum say we friend sekan o ko school no be hia brofo no na wo say sekan e friend ka class
ebi o ko secondary school be ko na bi omu nsi onye ebi omu ni toilet omu ni nyoma bebre nti ade na ye nhwe no na obi tv ya na enye issue bia na ye gina wa ye kan wasem
discipline ebe school o ye gentle obi ehu say school dey gentle ye hihye mra na say obi anyini ti me pray so sa say obi abe gentle ni o youth sikasem no dey na um dey ti afunu ni o betima bo ama school na koso
the minister na can
me give 200%. Me for 100%.
So the two people that I was speaking to are in support of what the minister has said, the stern warning, against inappropriate hairstyles, and also it's very compulsory for local language to be used as the medium for communication at the basic level. According to the sector minister, this is a broader way to actually reset the education system, and so the GES has been given that very authority to ensure this very directive is enforced across all schools in the country. And yeah, we actually been heavy this morning on education. So my brother Daryl is trying to just bring more people for us to have this very interactive discussion. And like I rightly mentioned, we are live on Madam. So Daryl has gotten someone here. So Daryl is bringing someone that we can talk to. It's a fine lady.
George Quenin there interacting with people on the Oxford Street at Osu in Accra. Let's speak to the Executive Director of the Child's Rights International, Bright Appiah, who joins us by video call. Good morning to you, Mr. Appiah. Thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Appiah, I think we can see you, but we can't hear you. Perhaps you're muted. If you could kindly unmute, and then we can have a conversation. Can you hear us? Excellent.
I can hear you.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you. Hey, Roland.
Yeah, bro. Good morning.
Good morning, Chief.
All right, bro.
Yeah, so let me perhaps first find out from you your general understanding of what the minister said and what you think of it.
I think that the statement of the minister is date back in terms of how we've structured our educational system and how we used to run things, and certain standards that we need to put in place to be able to do that. So his statement, though it speaks to the education sector, I think that there should be a broader discussion, or there should be a basis for such statement to have validity, and how best we can also regulate our school system. Because for me, we cannot rule out the issue of discipline in our school system. And for us to be able to do that, then we need to have standards. We cannot speak in vacuum. And I wonder the basis for which the minister made that statement. And for us to be able to do that, we should be able to have a standard to be able to speak to some of these issues. It's not just a matter of saying that children should not keep their hair, but you should be able to have a standard, a regulation that you can speak to say that this regulation that you have do not violate any right of any child, do not violate the constitutional provisions, do not violate the Children's Act, and it is supporting to enhance education. On that basis, we should be able to say that we can have some of these rules and regulations. Because for me, we don't have, at the national level, we don't have any standards that will be the basis for which the minister will make that statement. If we do, then we have to measure that standard against all the provisions that we have, whether or not it's a matter that violates any right. If it doesn't, then fine, so be it. But if it does, then we also need to go back to look at how best we can structure the whole thing. And for me, it is easy for us to do this because the court has made certain pronouncements to be able to draw the distinction between how children can keep their hair on the basis of certain principles. One, the court is looking at issues of religion, and then the court is also looking at issues from a lifestyle of our children. So if it's on the basis of religion, then the court has made pronouncement on it. And if it's a lifestyle, then it is a standard that must determine as to how children must live their lives in a school. We don't want a situation where people can use their own discretion to determine how discipline should be administered. On the basis of that, that is what makes it a bit difficult for us to have some of these things done in a manner that is supposed to be. So if we want it to be like that, children should not keep their hair to a certain level, then we need to have standards, and those standards should not violate any constitutional provision or even the Children's Act.
And so it means that the children have rights and the parents have rights as well by way of extension. So what then should be the conversation then? So that perhaps maybe from now in the future, that could influence policy and create the standards that we want.
I think that the records are there. If you go, when it comes to education, and you go to most of these advanced countries, they also use the court system to be able to determine how they can develop policies that will safeguard the school environment so that students do not take advantage of the system, teachers do not take advantage of the system, or people who work within the educational system do not use their own discretion. And for us, we are fortunate to have a decision from the court that has drawn that distinction that when it's issues about lifestyle, then we need protocols and standards to introduce. So, and those standards should not violate the right of children. But if it's about religion and people manifest their religion, the court has also made pronouncements on that. So it's not just a matter of we having a long conversation about it. We have to go back to look at some of these decisions and then begin to develop standards that will conform to some of these principles. Because I strongly believe that if the court, if they have made pronouncement on certain matters, then it means that they have gone into the law, they've seen all the weakness, and they also know the reason how they've made those pronouncements. And we can, based on that, to develop those standards. Until we have those standards, I don't think that any pronouncement would have that kind of legitimacy to speak to things. Until we come to that level where we say that, okay, these are the protocols safeguarding our schools. These are the things that we need to do when students come to school, and those things must be communicated to students before they come. Then we can come to that conclusion. So those standards and the policies are needed for us to be making some of these pronouncements.
Well, for the sake of time, we'll have to end it here, but thank you very much, Mr. Bright Appiah, Executive Director, Child Rights International, for sharing those thoughts with us, Roland. Well, you're still here on Newday on TV3. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll go for the big issue.